In my last video, I spoke about why business advice sucks and how it needs to be more about making business personal. If you haven't watched that video, you can watch it over here in the corner. Little eye. In this video, I'm going to provide you with 4 examples of how this appears in business and productivity life. I'm going to explain what these types of people look like. I'm also going to explain what they need to have. And then at the end, I'm going to give you the opportunity to turn this information that I've given you into something that works for you. So let's get started. Hi there, welcome to Simplicity Specialist YouTube channel. If you're new here, say hi in the comments below and let me know. If you are new, chances are you don't know who I am. And my name is Jonathan and I'm a Simplicity Specialist who helps fast-thinking business owners just like you to help build a business that works around them. So, business is personal, but what does that actually mean for you as the business owner watching this video? It's incredibly difficult to distill down what each individual person is. So how are you supposed to, 1, help your clients, and 2, how are you supposed to even think about yourself? It's so overwhelming. So what I did with my clients and myself is created these personality productivity profiles. These profiles are designed as a starting point, a baseline, where I have noticed through working with multiple clients in multiple industries and multiple things, and in business and life and all nerdy psychology stuff, I've put it all together into these profiles to help business owners see where their baseline is. These profiles are not designed to tell you how to behave or how to work. They are there to help you see what happens when things go a little bit pear-shaped, which in business is quite frequently. What I'm going to talk about is what the profiles are, how it shows up for them and the different ways it can be seen, and what is great about them and what they struggle with, as well as what they need to have. Then at the end, I'm actually going to give a demonstration of what that looks like from me, based on my personality productivity profile. So without further ado, let's go through the 4 profiles. The Perfectionist Overperformer, the Pondering Rebel, the Confused Creative, and finally, the Big Name, Bigger Library. These are in no particular order. These are just the order I wrote them down, and they appear in my head. So let's dive into each profile one at a time and explain what the profile is, how they work, how they function, how they think, and a little bit about what they need to have to help support them in their business. The Perfectionist Overperformer. Perfectionist Overperformer is someone who has a high threshold on what they deem as good work. They deliver incredible quality of work, but they are a little bit of a chronic overdeliverer. Often they overthink simple things and cause fires for themselves just so that they can put them back out again. They are always working hard. They are very hardworking. And they don't normally rest. Whether that's because they can't rest because their brain never flipping stops, as the case for me, or perhaps it's just they feel like if they keep moving, they'll be fine. So as a perfectionist overperformer, what do you need? Well, first of all, you need a business and a system that gives you the freedom to create exactly what you want. Having strict boundaries, limited options, and halfway customizations will just not work for you. The thing you need to get out of your system is spaciousness. It needs to feel spacious. You need your system to have the timings of rest and relaxation and recuperation and all the R's built in for you to be able to spend time away with your work. Otherwise, you will just dive really, really deep. Okay, so what's your first step? Is to get very clear on what you do best. Your system and your business needs to be set up so you primarily do just that. The next profile is the Pondering Rebel. This is the natural born leader. This is the person who lifts the voices of those who are often ignored. But they only work with what they know, what they understand. That's it. They don't actually mind struggling a bit. In fact, some profiles genuinely love to struggle because they are very happy with being just fine. I'm fine is a common phrase from people with the Pondering Rebel personality type. This is how I do it. It's inefficient, but I don't care. So what do they need to have? Well, they need a system that gives them flexibility when they need it, when they're in a period of just like, I don't want to deal with anything, I just want to have the freedom, I hate systems, I'm not a systems type of person. But also to help you just come back together when you need to focus. In periods of focus, you need to be able to pull you back in and rein you in. If you do thrive in an environment that's challenging, adding some creative restraint will keep you focused while also giving you freedom. You must also be the one to choose that restraint. If someone else chooses it for you, it becomes worse. What you need to feel is creative boundaries. You need space to store ideas and also to keep you focused at the same time. It is a total balancing act between the two. Whereas the perfectionist overperformer needs real solid boundaries, the rebel needs light boundaries. A little bit of poking and gently puffing in the right order. Okay, so if you are a rebel and this resonates with you, what do? Well, first of all, get things out of your head. Rebels are known to keep everything in their head, have all their plans in their head, and then just do it on their own. They often don't work with a team, or the team gets given complete flexibility and freedom. Get things out of your head. Get it out and put it down somewhere that makes sense for you. So the next profile is the confused creative. They are absolutely wonderful idea machines. They have lots of ideas, but sometimes it gets caught up in their head. And they will very easily just follow their flow. They have an idea, they want to move quickly, but often start overthinking and doubting and thinking, oh, am I really supposed to be doing this? I'm not sure whether this is right. Often the confused creative profile has a lot of similarities to the perfectionist overperformer. There is an essence of it's got to feel right and look right. Confused creatives will find it very hard to move forward and develop an idea if they are creatively starved. So shoving them into funnels, making them do things in a certain way is going to really frustrate them. So what do creative profiles need to have? Well, they need to have clear boundaries that helps keep them focused on what's important, to help structure their ideas in a way that they can take actionable, meaningful steps to do what they want to do, and as well as a place to put ideas in. They need to have a light boundaries, gentle boundaries that just help them as kind of like guide ropes versus like hard barriers. It also needs to be incredibly simple and incredibly manageable. The system needs to feel invisible. It will guide in the shadows and help keep you on track with little tiny nudges. It needs to be frictionless as possible to help them stay in their creative flow and create what they want to create. But with the boundaries there to help them pull them back into focus if needed. So if you are a confused creative right now, what action steps do you need to take? Well, start thinking about how you work every day. Take your creative nature and turn it into something so you can keep tracking. If you are a writer, keep a journal on what you're doing. If you're a musician, write a lyric every single day around how you function. Start paying just a little bit more attention. Bring your awareness forward so you can see what's happening. And last, but by no means least, we have the big name, bigger library profile. These are for business owners who are objectively successful. They have content, they have a team, and they can absolutely fill a sales funnel. However, there is often this disconnect with your business and your content and the way you function. And sometimes it feels like everything's just being held together by tape and only just holding on. Often someone with a bigger name, bigger library has a huge team around them to do all of the little tiny details and the little bits of work, but you're just looking around going, what's actually happening right now for me? I don't get it. I'm confused. I just don't know. If you're a big name and you have a big library of content and ideas and business and everything, what do you need? Well, your systems need to work around you with you at its core. Chances are the systems have kind of just worked around you and you've just followed the business models that align with you and it feels good, but your systems around you are kind of just like disconnected from you at the core. It needs to fit both you and your team operating inside of it. It has to give you the freedom to see the top level and be able to dive in if you need it. It has to feel like a part of you is inside of it. That you exist within your business, within your systems. So what do you do about that? How do you get started? Well, take some time to look at the moving parts. Your success gives you flexibility and freedom to really look at what's going on and see what's going on and moving here and just playing with pieces and exploring what's possible. Take stock of what's working and what's not and think about how you would do it, how you would move things around. Before we end, let's dive into an actual example with a real human being, because the problem with these profiles is that sometimes it can feel like you're just being put into boxes, which you're not. We're going to use me as an example because I know my business and I know me and how I work. My distinct profile is a perfectionist overperformer. Surprising, no one who actually knows me. So what would I do for me to help me when I am leaning into my perfectionist overperforming ways? Well, I try to use platforms that stop me from tweaking and touching things and moving things and doing things and thinking about things and moving this and moving that and obsessing over the tiny details. I on purposely moved from Google Docs into Notion because Notion was more restricted for writing. And then when Notion became when I started being able to play with Notion more and do colors and things like that, I then moved away from Notion because it was becoming distracting again and I was tweaking everything and moving databases around and all that. So I moved to Obsidian because it literally is what it is and that's it. I launch fast and try not to overthink it. In my business, if I have an idea, I will follow it. I will move forward. Because otherwise I will start over-processing and thinking about what it needs to be and what it needs to do and how it needs to be and how to make it perfect and how to make it this and how to make it that. I on purposely give myself very, 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 very tight deadlines. Like this video right now is being recorded on the day that it's going out because it helps to keep me moving. So to finish this off, I really want to make this perfectly clear. These profiles will not fit you exactly because systems are simple, but you are not, which is what makes us delightfully human. These profiles are a baseline to help you get started, to help you think and view things and bring more awareness to how you work. Because once you have awareness of how you work, business advice becomes actually valuable. Because you can actually go, this doesn't fit, this fits, and here's why. As you grow, your profile will most probably change, almost definitely. But the time your profile shows up is not when things are going really well. When your prefrontal cortex is in control. It's when your amygdala is in control. And you are in panic stations and things are going wrong and nothing's working and you're stressed and frustrated and your business is not working and you want to go to plan Z. And that often comes hand in hand with two very toxic words. Which you'll learn about in the next video. So maybe do the things that YouTubers do, subscribing and hit the bell, all that lovely stuff, so that you find out what those two toxic words are. Or if you really cannot wait 2 weeks, then maybe join my newsletter. The link's in the description and you can keep in touch and I will tell you them very, very soon. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. And remember, your business is better